Outback Motor Speedway, start of the new 2015-2016 series. Did a complete renovation on this track. Thought maybe we'd see what you think. You won pretty many last year. You're starting off hot this year. You're the defending track champion, but what do you think of the track?
I think the track race is pretty close to what we had last year. The lap times are right back to where we were last year. The only difference is you can race with the car beside you pretty good without really knocking them out. I mean, you really have to drive in the corner hard. And me and Brent one time, we were side by side, I think, for 2 laps. You know, we each gave each other respect. And once I got far enough up on him, he was like, "Yeah, I better let him go," you know, just in case. But I think the track is perfect.
Well, that's one thing we added to it. I mean, the track is still the same track. There's no different configuration, but I did add a 1/4 inch to the spacing, like I told you. You wouldn't think 1/4 inch would be much, but, you know, it seemed like we'd been fighting trying to get traction, but it seemed like it really came in gut tight tonight.
I think with the door open was helping keeping the cars a little freer tonight, but the track got black pretty early, and it actually made for really good racing. I mean, we could get in there side by side and mix it up pretty good.
All righty, well, congratulations. You ended the season strong. You're starting out strong. Looked like your protege, Jimmy, was going to outrun you, but you I think you made up some more time underneath the lights.
Yeah, definitely my car got better during the lights, and he said his car got a little freer, so that's just, you never know. I mean, first time we've been under the lights, that's a different car. He's never run that one before, so you never know what's going to happen. I knew once we started the second rotation, and I got through starting on 8, I went 8.64, and he had me by 9 laps the first time he had me by 11. So I knew as long as I did my job, you know, trying to catch him, that I was going to be okay in the end. But you still got to hit your marks and keep going. But I got to say thanks to him, I just showed up tonight. You know, he's been working on them all year.
Well, we got to thank him because he's a sponsor of this anyhow. This is a pretty big event, this Hillbilly 400, and he puts up good money for it.
Oh, yeah, definitely. He enjoys the slot cars. He's not into real racing much anymore. He'll go once, twice a year, and he looks forward to slot car season in mid-October. So this is what he likes to do, and, you know, I'm glad I'm able to drive for him. I'm glad he helps you all out with the track, and just want to say thanks to you, Denny, and Brent, and everybody else that had something to do with it behind the scenes from what we see.
All right, man. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Hillbilly 400, back with second place finisher Jimmy McFarland. You was probably hoping it wasn't a double segment. You had her won after the first segment.
I did. I had it won, and I was like, I'm in good shape. Cut the lights out. I went to the worst loose that you could ever imagine. It just blows my mind. I was so good. The best feeling car I've ever had here in the first 8 segments. Cut those lights out, and it was over with. I couldn't believe it. It just shocked me. Couldn't believe it.
Everybody says that. You wouldn't think just turning them lights on would change that track that much. But I know you had a black car, too. That made it a little bit harder for you.
It did. It did. I struggled a little bit with that, but it's not enough to, you know, I can feel the car going down the straightaway, tailing in about every lane. And it just blows my mind, this track does. And this is a different track.
That's what I told Trevor. Now, Trevor said it seems like it still drives the same, but he thinks he can race a little bit more with the extra spacing. It's the same configuration, but it's new paint, it's new brake, so it is definitely a new track.
It is. It is. It's more racier, so that was a great job to you to give us a little more spacing. Race door to door with about everybody. It's a lot better. It's smooth. It's fast. It's going to be interesting when you prep the track each week. It's definitely going to be interesting.
Yeah, well, I got to learn too. It's a whole new surface, so it kind of threw me a ball. I didn't think it was going to get this much bite in it, to be honest with you. So we'll see what for next week.
Yeah, it got bite, but when we showed up here, you know, it didn't have any grease on it, and I thought it was just going to get locked down rubber, and it took some rubber, but it didn't get super sticky like typically it did in the past. So good job to you. The track is just phenomenal. It's unbelievable. Just want to thank you and Denny and Deb and Brent for putting this on. This is what we wait to do in the winter.
Well, we appreciate it, and we appreciate you. You're one of our good sponsors here, and this is your sponsored event, and it goes both ways like I told everybody. We got a real good thing going on here. We're just going to keep it going. It's hard to believe this is our 6th year, and we got more scheduled for this year than we had any year. We just keep on growing. 29 people here for your race.
Wow. Yeah, I'm proud to sponsor this race here, and I'm going to make it better next year, and I hope we're here for another 20. I love it. Thank you.
All right, man. Thank you. At Hillbilly 400, third place finisher Alan Saggy, and didn't even know if you was going to make it there. You tripped and fell and broke your hand, and it's pretty dedicated to still come here and run and get in the top 3.
Yeah, hell, that's no excuse. And my car owner, Joe Shiflett, he assured me if I had to come down here and had to go to the bathroom, he'd help me out. So that was my biggest worry all day was that. The racing part, hell, that's easy.
Well, I want you to break your hand more often.
Yeah. He'd really get mad if I took this cast off and waved at him, wouldn't he?
So what's your thoughts on the track? Both of them seem to think you can race better on it now. What do you think?
Yeah, you know, just that little bit of lane spacing makes a difference. We can run side by side and get away with it a little bit more often. The race was really good. I told Travis Clark, don't feel bad. He run 7th. The last car running because one car dropped out, but he was only been 6 laps behind in a regular segment race, and that's not that much to make up. I was running 6th at the halfway point and got lucky enough to get up to 3rd. I know Junior and Brent weren't far behind me. It was really tight, and congratulations to Trevor and Jimmy. They ran really good. Everybody give everybody a tussle. It wasn't that anybody ran away with it. It was a nail biter to the end.
Yeah, I forgot to ask them what you think of how the scoring is going now, where you can see a little bit better how you're running. It makes it a little bit easier for y'all to figure out where you're at and where you got to come from.
Absolutely. With that new scoring deal you got going that shows everybody in their running order at the time, it's kind of neat to look up and see exactly where you're at and how far you got to catch the next guy or how far behind the next guy is catching you. It's still a deal where the outer lanes you're going to lose ground, but you kind of know what your spacing is between those guys, how much you need to gain or lose, and it's got to make it a lot better for the fans here too, spectating, watching the race. They can keep up with the race a little bit better and see who's out front. I hate to say it's a genius idea because you did it. Maybe it's a really lucky idea, but it's a great idea.
All right, well, congratulations on the top 3. I hope you heal up pretty good. And again, we need to really thank Jimmy McFarland. It's these great sponsors that we got that allow us to do this.
Yeah, absolutely. It was really nice of Jimmy and his wife to put this deal on for everybody, to have the cookout and yourself and Brent, all the work preparing this. I'm sure there's a lot of hours involved, but made a lot of fun to come down today and run. That's kind of why I didn't want to miss it, even though I'm broke up a little bit. And, sometimes you just got to play hurt. If you're going to be dumb, you got to be tough.
All right, man. Well, congratulations.
All right, thank you.
Get a good feeling, yeah. Get a feeling that I never had before. No, I get a good feeling.